The Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by Indy Wrestling US and Indy Wrestling Network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you have to do, make it.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, 858 Tuesdays. We've been talking about professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And we're going to hit record on the audio. And we are here. Oh, we're completely ready for a show here. We're doing great, guys. I got coffee and beer lined up, so you know it's going to be a good one. First of all, we have from Beacon, New York. He's the only Mayhemmer with a future endeavor letter from the WWE is Mad Mike.
Happy Palindrome Day, Sorg.
Happy Palindrome Day.
Yeah, it's 858.
858. Well, that's what he's using that master's degree for.
But by the way, I have, because you'll see this on video. So I celebrated my 40th birthday this past weekend because my birthday actually took place over Easter. My sister made us these tattoos.
Oh wow! It says, "Look who's 40." Mike's 40th birthday, and there's an arrow to your face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you see something weird on my hand, that's what it is.
Wait, it's a tattoo?
And if you're on audio and you see something weird on my hand, you should stop taking drugs.
You
lay
have
off the
superpowers. Yes. Oh, that voice. They came back because I think the last time they were here it involved barbed wire.
You can't scare us off. Sorg.
No, they are the co-hosts of A Gay and His Enby right here on the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. We have wait. The Wrestle Fan himself. The man who started as a fetus on this podcast.
Started as a fetus.
Yeah, we're here.
In honor of us promoting A Game is Enby on the Wrestling Mayhem Show, can I dub WrestleFan to be my dead name?
Are you killing WrestleFan 2000?
Yeah,
you will always be Mike. How did you always say that?
WrestleFan.
Yeah.
I'm about to turn 30.
He needs a new gimmick. It's been a while.
And there's Merlin as
Metal Fan
well.
30.
Hello. Yes. I have not seen the bill for the therapy from the Christmas special.
Really?
Yeah.
I sent it a while ago.
Oh, must be lost in the mail. Oh, no.
I'll have to send a new
We'll have to
invoice.
do something about that. So we got to work up that Patreon. Guys, can we add a new therapy level to the Patreon?
Why is it that I've had you around the wrestling business for like our entirety of our relationship, and that Christmas special was the day where I was like, so this is going to be the test.
Welcome to Pittsburgh. That was your introduction to Pittsburgh wrestling, okay? I mean, you've seen the stuff Chess has made me do, right?
Jeez. I mean, I thought I was going to need therapy after working for GCW that one time. And
Wait. Are you telling me now on this show, STD Christmas special, more traumatizing than a GCW show?
yes.
That's the headline. That's
Wow.
the headline right there.
That's the
there you
tagline
go.
for every-
Fuck
for every
you,
year.
Brett.
Wow.
I quasi met him one time. I don't even fucking know.
And you saw literally a person's arm sliced open. You're like, no, yeah, that Christmas party was worse.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
did
it
you
was a
see-
person I knew and was close friends with and almost had a panic attack and had to go, nope.
Did you see the video?
As
of
her
Matt?
mother was like, this is great. Like, we're having a great time. That's wrestling for you.
Yep.
Shout out to Alley Catch. Love you.
Yes. Did you see that? Did I show you the Matt Justice squirt video after the Clockwork
No,
Orange
don't show.
match?
No.
Oh yeah. We'll show that after. Well, after the show, so you have a fresh nightmare feel.
I'm pretty sure squirt video has never been used in worse context.
Unrelated. Be sure to check out Again is Enby on.
Oh, yeah.
I said unrelated.
Or isn't it?
I feel like that's the one topic we haven't.
Yeah, pretty much.
Listen, I see your titles. I'm just saying.
It's all him.
Especially when I get the Twitter violations.
Look, this is what happens when it's 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm editing an episode and some stupid shit one of us says makes me crack up laughing.
And I'll wake up at 9 a.m. the next day and just look at my Apple Podcast feed and just be like, Jesus Christ, man. of all the options.
I love you have the same vibe as this show, and you have not been a part of it as long as he is. So.
Yeah, you caught on pretty quick.
Oh yeah. You're just like, oh yeah, this vibe. This is okay. Yes.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh my God, we're gonna talk with you. You guys have opinions. Eamon has every time I've seen Eamon in the last month, he has wanted to say, we're gonna talk about these advertising at WrestleMania. So we're gonna get a whole segment of this for later.
So should we jump right into sponsors?
Where's the giant? Do you have a mascot? Do we have a Slice on Broadway
sponsored
mascot?
by Cinemoji Toast
If only.
Crunch. And
I think the Beast Man is their mascot. But anyways,
hold on, Sorg, can you cut to me for a second?
yes.
Hi, Mad Mike is brought to you by Polar Seltzer. I'm just going to be drinking it throughout the show, and this is Blood Orange.
And the Wrestling
Polar
Mayhem
Seltzer.
Show also
Lovely and delicious.
sponsored by the amazing community of Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
Intercourse, Pennsylvania. You'll go through it, and you'll barely feel it.
There you go.
Well, I don't know. I'm being fueled this night by some wonderful Yingling beer. That's a good vibe. Nope. Yep. Should have done that later. Anyways, this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. You can check out everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. You can. What are we doing? Email us at
Good times. I
Good
remember that.
times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com, at Mayhem Show on the Twitter, as well as at Mayhem Show at SorgatronMedia.social on the Mastodon Fediverse.
Where it's always Vader time.
Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook group, a lot of great discussion and memes shared throughout the week, as well as we have a Discord and a Reddit for the Wrestling Mayhem Show. And you can join us here live every Tuesday about 10-ish p.m. Eastern Time, or shortly after the NXT Overrun. And we should be live at least for the next month, I do believe. So stay tuned for this. Join us for this. Become part of the chat. And I'm actually going to pull up the Facebook chat right now, but we are keeping an eye on you on the YouTube and the Facebook for Wrestling Mayhem Show, Sorgatron Media, and Indy Wrestling.us. Oh, God, I just FaceTimed somebody. Facebook, not FaceTime. Sorry, Mom. Anyway, oh God. So what are we at? Where are we at in this list here? And of course, please subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast catcher. Thank you to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. That little bit of beer made me very salivated all of a sudden, so it's becoming very difficult.
This part of the Wrestling Mayhem Show brought to you by Saliva, the
Very
former
warm.
WWE favorite band.
And I'm very warm all of a sudden. And thank you to friends at the fan show level, Bo Diggity!
Woo!
As well as Ed Burke, Team Hammerfist, and Bobby F.J. Town. And at the Poppy Club level, Dave Profop, Bonner Clipper of all things Sorg related, and also getting my good side in some of these damn images that he posts. Rats in the Trench Coat, Tony Kincaid, Pizza Club level, Doc Remedy, and The Riz. And at the manager level, Bradley. You guys can support the show too. I'll say your name in a funny way at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Let's get into it. Oh my God.
By the way, if you also want to join the Patreon and tell us who your favorite sponsor is, then that'll just be another ad.
For
I'm
what?
Just saying.
For who? For what? If you
For
want,
literally
if
anything.
you're on Patreon and you're at least at the Pizza Club level,
Yeah.
and you have something you would like us to advertise, we'll talk about it every week. I don't give a shit. I just, like,
Even if it's something you're not involved with. Like, if you love Cool Ranch Doritos, and you're like,
don't-
just talking about...
Speaking of Doritos, those new barbecue Doritos are fabulous.
now I'm getting hungry. Now I'm getting hungry. I wanted to dig into some of that.
So are we
some
getting the
over
slice
there.
on Broadway?
No, that's later in the show. That's later in
What
the
if,
show.
what if this show was all ads, and we didn't actually talk about anything?
But before we get to our other ads, let's talk about Squarespace.
Do you want to talk about ads on the internet? Well, go to Squarespace, where you can talk about ads for your ads.
At a certain point, it's just gonna we're gonna have this podcast in like the small screen as the
Guys.
giant like Intuit TurboTax ad is over top.
You know, actually, the title of this episode should be #not an ad.
Yes,
Yeah,
there we go.
Wait, listen, the show goes really late, and we got to really get into it because, of course, I'm going to fall asleep nice at my sleep number bed. And, damn
And
it.
if your show goes really late, but you don't drink coffee like I don't, try a 5-hour energy.
And if you don't want a sleep number bed, try a Casper mattress.
And if you don't want something that reminds you of a potentially dead child cartoon from the 60s, get a purple mattress.
What the fuck?
Casper, the friendly ghost. Come on. I don't want to sleep on the ghost of a dead child. Do you?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
I mean,
If he's
Even
good
if
enough
it
for
was
Mindy
Devin Sawa.
and Christina Ricci, I'm good.
I mean, if it's Christina Ricci, that's a different conversation, and we're probably not going to have that now. That probably gets back to the Swerve video.
Sorg, what are we talking about this?
I don't know, but Tina says that we're a few conversations away from Manscaped or Blue Chew. Well, actually, the one ad we did run on this show was Mike. Actually, I think Eamon was here for
The
it.
goddamn fleshlight.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect.
We did it, and that was just more than one show.
That was we
Will
had
talked about the fleshlight for a while.
we had an affiliate code that made us no money, so we tried. Damn it, we tried. Shit. All right, that's enough about the flashlight.
Well, I mean, it's a target audience, so I'm not sure
if
why.
you just
And if you like a target audience, go to Target.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
If you like Jesus Christ, please join the Church of Latter-day.
No, not those ads again.
whoa. You know what? I think we need to change, and whenever I need to change my life, I pull out my Optimus Prime Transformer.
Now let's converse and roll out.
Yeah, you try fucking transforming this thing. It's impossible.
And the Lego one's actually pretty hard too.
I thought it doesn't. Okay, they don't all do it themselves. Yeah.
There's a lot of undertones in this conversation that I'm just gonna let lie.
And when I want to let things lie.
The best thing about this whole thing is none of us discussed this before the show.
No,
This
we
is just a
didn't.
random bit we all decided to just buy into. And if you want to buy into something, join our Mayhem Crypto Club.
Oh, I was actually just about to advertise the our gay and his Enby coin. That's new, rolling out next week.
Enby coin.
Perfect.
Enby coin.
I like Enby coin. I love
Enby coin. Love it.
Oh shit. Okay.
Where are we going? Sorry.
The wrestling was in Chicago last night, and you can't do Chicago wrestling without CM Punk.
Oh my God, this
dropping
transition.
if
And you know what CM Punk loves?
Speaking of not letting things lie, CM Punk showed up backstage at WWE Raw
For reasons unknown.
for reasons unknown to himself and the universe. But maybe he heard there were muffins. I don't know. But
Maybe he saw they booked 2 women's matches.
According to, and I was right, by the way, none of that shit got in the Hulu cut last week that we were talking about. But anyways, sorry, I don't watch the replay after the night of. I just fucking can't with Raw.
Oh,
hold on.
please.
Tina in the chat room says
Yeah.
this is the fastest the show's derailed. I think there are faster.
Oh,
No.
you should try the first 5 years. But anyway, so he shows up. According to the reports re-reported by Wrestling Inc., he shows up. He's in the common area, I guess. I guess the wrestler common area. Talks to a few people he knows, apparently including Triple H.
Of all people.
Of all people. And this is in Rosemont, Illinois. There, I think that's the one, Allstate Arena. That's the one just north of the O'Hare Airport. I'm sorry, I'm really familiar with Chicago after the last year. And I guess it's minutes from his house. So he just decided, hey guys. And then, I mean, this is on the heels of, like, I was there. I was streaming illegally, by the way. I was as a client. The FTR show where they text him live, in the middle of it, and you even hearing Max talking about he wants to come back and everything like that. He misses everybody. And then this is in the midst of reports. I was actually finishing the WWE report. Again, this is all alleged. This is all reports. He was there about 20 minutes before he was escorted out by security. And what do we think? Supposedly Vince is the one that called security.
Of all, I mean, like,
That's the report. That's the report.
Who wasn't even there.
No. Apparently,
I assume he just went there. How long do you think it takes CM Punk to say "I told you so"? At least 22 minutes.
listen, man.
Roughly?
He had to tell it to multiple people.
There are certain local wrestling shows I feel like I wouldn't be able to make it in the front door at this point. And CM Punk can walk in the fucking backstage of like WWE Raw with everything going on. This seems so implausible to me.
like, yeah, it's like,
He probably knows all the security at every Chicago.
That is true. It is the Rosemont, so he literally walked like you're security in Chicago. Are you stopping CM Punk from going anywhere?
yeah, like, if not security, like, who's the, like, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, who was the in on the roster?
What happened is
Who
he
made him the +1?
He actually camped out the night before and was in a storage closet. It just popped out when everybody got there.
All night playing Game Boy, Game Boy. What year is it?
No, that makes sense.
I'm sorry. I just
that was
actually,
correct.
I think we'll Punk that track.
I just watched Tetris like a couple of days ago. So
Well, and you're wearing
and I'm wearing a Super Mario Brothers T-shirt. So the old school '90s movie, by the way. Teespring's amazing. But
The
anyway.
CM actually stands for Cat Mario.
There it is.
Yep.
and if you like cat,
No.
Now in theaters. But no, it's just like, I again, when like you were saying, like, I feel like I know a lot of also people on an independent level where things get so like testy between promotions where it's like, oh god, like
There's not billions of dollars at stake. Like
I
this.
mean, it's just, I think we were talking before we came on of just like the fact that like all the reports that like, oh, there's a good chance he's coming back, and we may, Warner may give us our own show to put him on essentially and do like essentially like a brand set, and he just shows. I don't know.
Somebody's playing the game.
It's all about the game and how you play it.
But also, what's the game? Because like
Triple H.
No. Wrong answer. Wrong answer.
Thank you, babe.
No, I think that's
right
the
answer. Wrong question.
But like I think that was the thing also when the whole like Punk stuff hit the fan. It was just like, okay, well then where does he go? Because he's not going back to WWE. I don't think they want the fucking headache. Like, you know, and I don't.
Man, I don't know. They take Logan Paul, so and the
I think
headache
that's
that comes with
But
that.
Logan Paul, I don't think is a headache for them.
I
Yeah,
think
that's true.
I think once they got past the first match with Logan Paul
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
didn't get like they were like the headache's gone. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
any you know.
Well, I mean, this is a company that is not unfamiliar with headaches and proceeding along anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Don't take him on the tour of Japan. That's
Yeah.
it.
Look, famously, WWE has never had to deal with large egos, so it's really
yeah.
Never.
it's
no.
really hard to imagine how they would handle a CM Punk. You know,
I just think like
It's just an unknown.
yeah, I think also I don't think he has personally the drawing power. What do I know? But like in terms of
you were in Chicago.
well, yes, but
Yeah, but in Chicago,
WWE doesn't have a problem in Chicago. I think.
yeah,
like
they don't.
like I think you have to. I don't think the headache that they would receive is worth any returns necessarily, and I think that's possibly different for AEW. Like I think AEW is in a position where they're weighing it a little more carefully. You know, but I don't think this is helping. Like,
So let's roll this back a moment because a good thing was brought up here in the chat room. Let's see. Tina is saying not on the same level, but Ricky Starks was at the Royal Rumble. It's not uncommon. Also, we just saw obviously the Hall of Fame where we had many, at least several AEW contracted employees, mostly because their significant others were there.
yeah, and
as a
I
part
think
of
that's
it, so.
I think that's the difference though, because
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if there was an approval.
It is
given.
not hard. So we're talking. This isn't like WWF, WCW days where they were at war and literally pitted these personalities. They're all have traveled together. They all did independence before. Half of the AEW, bigger stars have been to WWE, so they know everybody and are on maybe a consistent texting basis with everybody.
Yeah.
You know, so
weren't the weren't the Bellas backstage at AEW shows
Yeah,
even when
yeah,
they were
absolutely.
still under Legends
but
contract?
also
Garcia's
But,
now.
yeah, but I mean, but Bree is married to Brian.
That's that's what I
So
mean.
That makes sense.
yeah,
Like-
Renee was around when Moxley came in when she was still under WWE contract
Yeah.
at the time. So I mean, you just make sure you don't get on anybody's fucking radar when you show up.
Well,
you
because
know,
the
but-
fault is not even in Ricky. The fault is in whoever leaked that fucking security camera footage.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
that's the bigger.
Of course, Ricky is famous for showing up at random shows and getting photographed by fans anyway. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's always getting photographed at Austin indie shows, and he's always back at Inspire Pro Inspire
that's
AD
the-
now.
But that's not unusual for AEW talent.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Moxley fucking shows up on indie shows.
Yeah.
You know, and smaller ones than you would expect. So
Yeah.
like the president is there, but I know Britt Baker and Wardlow aren't going to show up at any indie shows except for maybe a walkout or something, right?
Right.
At this point, certain talents.
The best is Mania weekends. Like if you go to any Mania weekend indie shows, keep an eye posted. You'll see some WWE talents even.
Oh yeah,
posted up.
was Keith Lee under contract when he was hanging out at WrestleCon?
Probably.
I can't remember at the time.
I mean,
back
Trish
in
was at
Dallas.
WrestleCon. She had a match at Mania.
I think I was.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, they're at WrestleCon. A lot of them have. I think I don't think your regular contracted wrestlers are going to be over there at WrestleCon, right?
Right.
They're going to be over at the convention center where WWE's doing things. But still, but it's an open door for that kind of thing. I think that's more commonplace.
I think it's better that it's. I mean, at the end of. The Punk thing is one thing because of everything surrounding him right now. But it's at the end of the day, it's why does it really matter? For them, unless talk. It's one thing if you're in Hunter's locker room or in his office, and you're contracted. But other than that, I don't see the big issue.
I want to go see my friends.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
everyone's friends nowadays. That's the other thing. It's there were such in the 90s and such the inner rivalries between the talents across the the two companies, and nowadays it's everyone has worked everywhere. So and there's no so there. There's no real difference.
And it's so much easier. I mean, I'm sure there's still some because everybody's busy, on this level. But it's easier for them to keep in touch. You have texting now. You didn't have that in the late 90s as much.
Yeah.
For the most part, and so here to round this out, Alex Miller out there in Cali is saying Seth Rollins was at GCW to support Mox. Naomi was spotted at GCW over the weekend in Orlando.
I mean, Bailey went over to Japan to see Sasha's debut.
Yeah, so I mean, this is all common. I mean, I could see a world where WWE starts cracking down on this just because.
Alex is saying, wasn't there a WWE Talent and Impact show and got fired? That was different. That was Rory, one of the Highlanders, who was actually in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't go on hard camera.
Yeah, don't
that
get
was
spotted in the crowd on somebody else's pay-per-view. That's not okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's very different.
Even as it is, and I think we talked about when Matt Light was on the show, Paige was under contract with WWE and was here for that first ever Blackcraft show.
And Paige also donned a wrestling mask and went to see Del Rio's matches.
Right. But even for that one, there was a whole thing because Britt was facing her mother, also Saraya, and which is, I think this is where the feud going on right now started. But they're having that match. I think it was for the women's title, first ever women's title for the company. And Paige came in and kind of did a run in from the side, but they weren't supposed to see her on camera because she's fucking contracted with WWE.
I love.
And they fucked up the whole thing.
But I love people being like, let's still do the spot, but we gotta
but not show her? Then I'm like, what's the fucking point of this spot?
That is so indie wrestling.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
It's just
Let's sneak this in here. Everybody in the crowd saw her all rocking around with Taya Valkyrie all freaking night at the bar. So, and I can't remember if Taya even did anything that night. I think she was just there.
Yeah.
So it was very strange.
What was that show we went to in Dallas that Rhino had the run in before he got released?
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he was still under contract.
Wow.
This was in like 2016.
It was that one that it was pre-pandemic. It was the one where we were in a bar and they sold us seated tickets and then they were like, oh, we don't have any seats. Yeah. Rhino literally ran in. Like, everybody knew his contract was up like a few days later.
Oh, are you talking about the Impact pay-per-view?
Yeah, the Impact pay-per-view.
Oh,
He did
okay,
a run in, I think, in a mask, and he was under contract. And then, like, a few days later, his contract was up.
And they unmasked him or something?
No. There was no official acknowledgement that it was Rhino.
Oh, okay.
Except he does the full, like, the
Except
motions where it's, like,
him.
so obvious.
Like Rhino, like, if you see a silhouette of Rhino, you're like, yeah, that's fucking Rhino. I know
it's a unique
Rhino.
silhouette.
Yeah. He's a very unique individual. So, yeah, I mean, they've been playing this game for years. So, now, I mean, it is interesting because, as we mentioned, there's the story about how CM Punk's Punkorama Saturday nights on AEW TNT is going to happen supposedly here in June because we need another 2 hours of AEW program. And listen, I say this as a fucking fan. I love AEW. I try to watch every dark. We were lamenting that Elevation was a best of last night for some reason over on Mastodon. Vader time. And they're telling me there's going to be another 2 hours on Saturday night on top of my Ring of Honor, on top of my Darks, on top of the regular shows.
Fucking why?
Well, the reason, Mike, and I go back to this.
They can't manage 2 shows on TV.
Well, you know what? Mike, why is there 3 hours of Raw every week, even though Triple H laments it every week?
Well, because at this point, it's up to USA.
Yes. And
that's why.
And why does AEW have a show?
But that's why I was so surprised because it was all based around this idea that Warner's like, yeah, I'll give you a new show, and it's like I agree. I think it's I just think it's too much in terms of
TNT stretching it.
Right.
It's not AEW stretching. AEW is like, why are we going to say no to more money?
Yeah, that's
why are we going to say no to more money and more exposure?
It's the same reason that why Raw won't ever go down past 3 hours because they're like, if you're going to give us the advertising money, then like,
why would we make an hour less of money? Yeah. What is USA going to fill that hour with? That's going to make as much money as Monday Night Raw.
Ads.
Oh no, not ads. But what the whole point of television is you put something we want to watch, so we tolerate the Pizza Hut ads. right?
Yeah. I just think like
does USA have anything else that reaches WWE potential?
right.
No.
No.
I also just think it's with
Unless they bring back Pacific Blue,
yeah.
obviously.
With La Femme Nikita.
Yeah. Listen, I wasn't gonna go there, but you're absolutely correct.
But I was just
Or Rhonda Shear's Up All Night.
there we go. But like I just feel like I also think with the headlines out of like what the show like that this is essentially a vehicle for like CM Punk and FTR to like have their like we're allowed, I just think like
if it's like CM Punk and FTR's WrestlePalooza,
I
and
mean,
it's
honestly,
truly like that and not AEW, I'm kind of down with the idea. Let's go.
yeah, it has to be like to me I think they would then have to fully lean in.
Yes.
Like they would have to fully craft it as essentially that.
Yeah.
Cuz I
Let
just
them out of the book. Go for it.
Because I feel like doing the like if they do like a vague brand split is like not
They're already trying to do a vague brand split.
sure with Ring
With-
of Honor.
with Ring of Honor.
I was saying
Yeah,
that last
yeah.
night. Like it's and it's
But guys, then I realized this at the Pittsburgh taping. Ring of Honor just is dark in elevation. But
yeah, it's dark at elevation with longer matches with matches that are a little more
with a handshake and a 20 count and better matches.
Yeah.
So
which I'm fine with.
which
like,
I mean, yeah.
But like I think for me like it's also when they announced this whole we'll maybe get into the new title in WWE and the whole draft.
We'll do that on third.
Yeah, but like I feel like also I don't have really confidence in that brand if they're going to be more definitive with that brand split going forward that it's going to hold. I think in wrestling we get so like what's the word like fleeting in terms of the brain where it's just like a new idea comes along and we just switch like
It's us being fickle, like Daniel Bryan said years ago.
yeah exactly.
Oh, yeah.
You were saying this in the car like you were like I don't feel like they can commit to like any idea.
The issue that I have is that they want to do like a brand split and then it will last for a year, maybe two, and then they want to merge everything back
Are we
together.
talking about
again.
WWE?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but they're
Yeah.
the ones that have done the brand split
and
before.
I'm
Nobody
still-
else has really done it.
And I'm still lamenting it. I'm like I don't know. It's a different era, but like I still lament the brand split because it's gonna be maddening to me, right?
Yeah.
But also I'm also starting to get tired of Usos and Kevin Owens and Sammy every week because it's not
Right. And there's only so much
it's-
you can do.
It's not as good as the lead up to Mania.
There's only
Yeah.
so much you
No.
can. I was telling you guys, like I had in like since Triple H, since like the SummerSlam from last year, I started trying to watch the regular show more regularly.
Yeah.
And like, because I had fallen out, I would watch a pay-per-view.
Yeah, same here.
But like, and I think I tuned in one week, and it was literally like 30 minutes on the opening of Raw of like an Usos New Day promo that led to like a 6-man that had like Riddle and I think like Solo or something, and I was just like, they're just taking 2 segments and stretching it to 5, and it's like that's not
And even Xavier Woods, like somebody came over that wasn't usually on SmackDown, and it says, hey, you need to stop talking so much because this is the tight show.
yeah.
Um,
When we went to SmackDown in Pittsburgh, like it went quick.
Oh yeah.
And I
That
was
was
like,
good.
this is like
Yeah.
SmackDown is breezy.
Oh, so
comparatively.
breezy. And I just like if you're gonna do a 3-hour show, I understand all the reasons in which to do a 3-hour show, but then actually make it a 3-hour show. Don't
Yeah,
do a
yeah.
2-hour show that you
Yeah.
then stretch.
It's not like they don't have the roster.
Nope.
They got plenty of people they could push.
I don't know what they're doing with half those people, but I don't know, filling out the house shows, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's strange. But that's their model. That's the thing that works for them, and it seems to work for them, and it apparently fits the audience that they're going for. And
They're not gonna be making any less
that's-
money.
No, they're not. They're definitely not. There was a comment, I saw a headline that if Peacock ever decides to drop WWE, there might as well not be Peacock.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it was from a WWE guy. I think it was a commentator or something.
We say that as 2 people who also watch Peacock.
Look, I think Bravo
for
could
Bravo
support
TV.
it.
Bravo's gonna hold that ship up.
Look.
You know what? No. You're missing the boat. You know what the real fucking winner is here? the fucking Hallmark Channel. Right? Yeah.
No,
Sorg.
but like you underestimate the Housewives fans. There are millions of us.
You guys are my door into the Housewives. That sounds weird.
I loved. There was nothing.
Is it the back door, Sorg?
No, that's worse.
There was nothing I loved
That's
more
the real gays of WeHo.
than like I think it was like a year. They don't know that reference.
No, it's still funny to us, even if we don't understand it.
There was a short-lived shitty reality TV show
here we
on MTV called
Real Friends of
The Real
WeHo.
Friends of WeHo, and it was
WeHo?
West Hollywood,
Like WLC, WeHo.
like
Sorg, it's like saying
WEHO.
Soho, like south of Houston Street. It's a
West
neighborhood.
Hollywood.
That's what that fucking means?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Sorg, really?
Oh boy.
But
Oh, man.
yeah.
The
We're just
more
gonna have to
you
deep dive on
know.
this.
But my point I was gonna make it. It was like a year and a half or so ago. There were all these I saw all these like wrestling people being like, it was a time when AEW's ratings were being like a big topic, and people were like, oh, it was a big deal that they got beat one week by Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and as if that was like but it's like they're pulling 1 million viewers plus consistently.
yeah.
I don't like. It was so like.
Oh,
And it is riveting television. And if any of you love The Real Housewives, come and watch us.
There you go. It is Enby. So
I mean, you can watch. I mean, pro wrestling's great, but then if getting a long discussion of whether Kathy Hilton said a gay slur to a DJ, I mean, that's real television.
Or whether Erica was really involved in Tom's, legal stuff or not. We don't know. We don't know.
Wow.
We don't know.
This is educational. Well, I think we're going to go into a segment where we're going to talk about advertising. But first, I want to tell you about IndyWrestling.us.
But first, there's an ad.
Yes. The first is a friendly reminder. Hey, do you like wrestling? We all do. What do you like? Some free wrestling? We have some free wrestling. You can check out Spotlight Slam over on Fight TV and on our IndyWrestling.us YouTube page. You can go over and check out the Thursday night fights from T2T Pittsburgh Wrestling Academy and 808 Wrestling out of New Kensington, and actually even what the hell, Cowpoke Paul's Yeehaw Bash or something on Friday. What is that? Don't worry, it's going to be on IndyWrestling.us on the streams. We also will be, for you guys on the network, IndyWrestling.network, this week's Prospect Pro Wrestling, what is it, Spring Beatings? What a name. Is going to be going on. John McChesney versus Facade for the Top Prospect Championship, as well as the, I believe it is Gory and Jamie Jamison in a non-sanctioned match. Go check that out. Prospect Pro Wrestling. It will be for you guys on the network. Free trial is still in effect if you sign up for 7 days. You sign up now, you can go watch that for free too, or shortly after the fact, or however you want to do that. And also I do encourage you, if you're can make a trek up 28 here in the Pittsburgh area, pick up any of those shows, head to any of those shows down there in Worthington if you want to see, old favorites of ours like McChesney and Gory and Jamie Jamison and Facade up there, or over there as at the MV Young show, which is part of their street fair, I believe, in New Kensington as well. So first time I'm going to be down there for all that festivity here in New Kensington, so I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. So big week of wrestling, and a reminder, we have been updating the PittsburghWrestling.com calendar, trying to get all the wrestling shows that we can. We even list AEW and WWE shows when they're coming to town, just so you can make your wrestling plans. So go check that out. Oh, we need to add, actually, I forgot I need to put on, because Jacob, not affiliated with us, but our friend of the show, Matt Light, is going to be opening for Jake the Snake Roberts this Sunday down at Hard Rock. So go look for that. I imagine tickets, I don't know if tickets are still available. I'm kind of on the fence, but I don't know if I'm going to be available to go to it, but I kind of want to. It's over the hill. So why not, right? A lot of great stuff going on there, including I did list Little Mania because it's, come on, you got to see some major wrestling on a Wednesday night. So yeah, if there's wrestling going on that we're missing out, please message us. I will put just about anybody that I think is a credible wrestling promotion or has not blocked me. So PittsburghWrestling.com, IndyWrestling.us. So speaking of advertising.
Keep that on the screen.
Oh wait, we want to keep that on.
You need like two more, and then and they need to be like
Go in the
flashing bright red.
Also, change the hashtag.
Let's change the hashtag.
Yeah.
Change the hashtag.
Hold on, just keep talking and I'll work on this, okay?
No, yeah.
Speaking of spring beating, that's what my sinuses call the month of May.
There we go.
All right.
So we're talking about how I hated the Mania advertising. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing right now.
There we go.
All right, there you go. There you go. Let's see here.
Here, I got this real sentimental moment to make on this podcast while we have these ads blaring.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Just keep going. Just keep going.
No, well, so we first, it started at the Rumble. It really started at the Rumble with that Mountain Dew Pitch Black match.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh dear God.
And that was it. You were there, Zorg. That was an experience.
I was there in person. Fans booing advertising was really interesting.
Yeah, it was great.
It was every time, even when they just dropped the lower third on the screen above the stadium, the crowd booed in the middle of Hell in a Cell. It was crazy.
But like, I get it. Like, make your money. like I'm all for a hustle. Like, this is too much. Sorry, it's so distracting.
What do you mean it's too much?
If it's distracting enough for me while I'm doing this podcast, imagine if you're wrestling during all this.
Imagine. Imagine. I mean, imagine.
Jesus, sorry.
Imagine. This is
I'm
a
Brian
visual
Cage.
gag.
But no, like, oh my God. So, like, but at the very least, I was like, okay, it's in a match at the Rumble with LA Knight and Bray Wyatt. That, like, I mean, technically probably should mean something because, I mean, Bray Wyatt's return, first match back, I think it was, like, give it to him.
And possibly last match ever.
Yeah, there you go. That'll do it. But it's like,
Is it because he drank the dew?
sure, but it's also like, okay, we also got like a full like concert at one point. It's like, I get it, you're doing stuff that like I don't need my full attention directed at this, but the choices at Mania of when and where to place these ads and the frequency in which to place these ads, I don't think the place to have the Cinnamon Toast Crunch mascot with all the blaring LEDs that were like bright purple that were like shading the ring at that point was for the father-son grudge match.
I will pull back for a moment.
No, hold on a second.
Yeah.
If we had a clip of like Dominic recounting something from his childhood, I said this before, of Dominic saying Ray bought one box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and then for the rest of his childhood replaced it with the generic. I think that's a story worthy.
The generic is better.
I still like the idea that that's what he lamented his father missing as he ate breakfast every morning over Cinnamon Toast Crunch, collecting his tears.
Mike, what you described is a great story for like a WWE video game, not for WrestleMania.
Excuse me, WrestleMania had an epic feud over a Japanese shampoo commercial.
That's true.
Which was followed up in WWE Crush Hour, believe it or not.
I only say this because I'm like partially through story mode in 2K23 right now, and there were some choices made.
We can talk about
thing.
that too, because
that Becky Lynch thing was something.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing the female version.
Yeah, he was just looking over at me doing that goat thing, being like,
Just
Wait,
looked over with the
goat
giant
thing?
goat mask, and I'm like, what the hell is
No,
this?
wait till you get to that. It's a
Fair warning, I haven't started the female one yet. When you do the male side, it's the movie Ready to Rumble.
oh, perfect.
Oh,
You selling me on this?
It is, but like in the weirdest way.
Good. 'Cause
Like-
I picked Johnny Gargano for that side. And wait, are we talking about Universe or My Rise?
No, I'm
No,
talking
My
about
Rise.
My Rise.
My Rise. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about My Rise. My Rise is almost it's like if you cross-pollinated Drew McIntyre's story with Ready to Rumble
Yeah.
and they had a baby together and that baby even had a scene where you're trying to recruit Goldberg in a gym.
What? What is this fever dream?
I mean, it just sounds
Yeah.
like Ready to Rumble. So I mean,
It's weird.
Lord.
Although I will say, you get to basically win the G1 in men's My Rise.
Oh, really? Speaking of Fever Dream, and this is off topic, did anybody see David Arquette on RJ City's thing?
I haven't watched it yet.
Boy,
Oh,
howdy.
I don't know what the fuck is up with David Arquette right now. It was a fucking ride.
I think that's just his normal.
They were like,
I
yo,
think
listen,
that's just
I've
him at
seen,
baseline.
like, I've seen David in person. I've seen David on a lot of other things that are very open ended. And I've never seen that level. I'm like, dude, are you on the drugs again? Because that was, I don't know what that was. But anyways, okay, back to the advertising.
But no, what I was gonna say is like, and it's I think the industry side of it, but it's just like I feel so bad for Dominic. Like that, that is literally his dream match.
Yes.
Like I can only imagine. Yes. And it's like this big build up. It's got all this like backing behind it, and all the photos of it and all the video of it just has the blaring purple cinnamon toast crunch. Like I was just so like pick it for the right match.
Yeah.
Like I was when the Intercontinental title match on night 2 was starting and they were doing all that Mike's Hard Lemonade stuff in the beginning, I was like, you better not. Like this is.
I remember they started that last year. When Boogs and Knock came out for like the first match, they had the Mike's Hard thing going on.
Oh, I missed that.
Right?
I didn't watch the first.
That was the first. That was the last year when they did that. And so that was kind of the beginning of that. I think that's when the LED board was introduced, right? Mm-hmm. So but then you had they had a really killer promo for Hell in a Cell, and then they dropped the Pope's Exorcist trailer in the middle of it, and then came back to the intros, and that was weird, and I don't know how it came off on television, but it was just we're just wait, what the fuck,
It came off as weird.
Yeah,
it came off as.
But also Peacock.
You also have to lower the cell too, and that takes a while.
Yeah,
so,
the cell was lower.
Peacock was also doing the weird things where we didn't get we didn't get match recaps. If we didn't get Peacock Premium or whatever the fuck,
it was playing the ads over those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
there's some of them where you didn't get the video package,
or you would get they wouldn't time it right to where you would get the last 15 seconds of it. Mm-hmm. It was.
I always wondered how that worked out because
not great.
Awful.
Yeah, because you're why am I getting a promo about a wrestler that's not even on this pay-per-view, when I watch it at home?
Yeah, I guess.
And I know it's all filler content.
I guess it's you can watch the pre-show if you care, but
don't watch the pre-shows.
It was so bad.
Don't watch the pre-shows anymore. Unless they advertise a match.
Yeah, it's not worth it. No.
That's the only reason to watch a pre-show.
No reason.
Who was the guy on the pre-show that they brought on to talk about the Ray Dominic match, who just went completely off script and was just talking to the crowd with his back to the camera and just yelling about you should beat your children.
Was this what the fuck?
Yeah. He was some sports person. I couldn't
It was
George
wild.
No, it was, and you could tell the announcers were just thrown because they don't know how to do anything except follow a script.
They literally were looking
half of them are wrestlers. They should fucking know what to do when shit goes off.
One of them's a radio host.
Yeah, that's true. They'd say the radio host, he's fucking screwed.
The idea that Rosenberg couldn't think on the fly. I don't know.
Yeah.
There was one that there was one pre-show they did.
Stephen A. Smith.
No. Well, he was bad too.
Smith.
He was bad too.
But Stephen A. Smith is one of the worst people just in sports. And that's not even because I'm a Cowboys fan. He's just a terrible human being.
Yeah, there was one pre-show when I was diving into stuff with the guy, whoever does the bump, that show that they do.
Yeah.
Matt Camp.
It was that's good. Those people at least
the people on the bump are actually really good.
Because at least it
It's not an easy job to make that thing interesting, probably, because
No,
it's the
but-
attack of the show of professional wrestling.
Right, but also WWE loves just taking a wrestler and putting them either on commentary or on these roles, and it's just it doesn't I don't need to hear Booker T God bless, but say the same
I don't need to hear Booker T ever.
honestly.
I'm
love-
done.
I'm accepting the wildness of Booker T. So that's where I'm at with it. But whatever. I also love Taz commentary. I also love
well,
Yeah,
yeah.
but-
But
Okay,
Taz
Taz
actually
is
pays
fun.
attention.
yeah.
Taz actually pays attention and
Yeah.
knows the product.
I still
Booker
can't get.
T does not.
I still can't get over. It's Dijak. Who's that? That was where I was okay, guys.
Yeah, no, he's getting a little bit of that Jerry Lawler. Not as bad as Jim Ross these days.
No, well, I haven't actually been watching a lot. I don't watch Rampage a lot.
Ross is.
But
You're not missing much.
Yeah, no, Ross. And I'm like, guys, this is like pre-taped. Why aren't we cleaning this up? So
I only would get I would only get annoyed when it was a lot of the like, oh, we're the refs being judicious with the like when he was kind of like undercutting some of the like
yeah
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Most of the time I didn't mind it as much because I like when the commentators are a little more loose. I got to a point. WWE's gotten better since Hunter took over, but like. There was a point in WWE where I was like, you just put all of this into Chat GPT and they're reciting it.
Yeah.
Like it didn't sound like lived or natural
I also hate
whatsoever.
that you can't tell who's talking on WWE just by their voice because they all sound the same.
Really?
They
Like,
are.
half of them have accents.
Well,
I mean,
now, yeah.
Yeah, now,
Oh, you
but
mean
like
previously, okay.
in like
Back
previous
in like
years, but like
the Corey,
Yeah,
Cole, and
it's like where
Brad-
it was interchangeable,
Yeah.
you know, white guys, and then you had, oh, look, we have a black guy on the commentary. That's great. Wonderful.
That was progressive for them. They are honestly baby steps, you know, for the last 50 years. Anyways, we'll get there one day, guys.
Will we?
JR, and this is the thing, because I mean, I've worked with people where you know, I mean, Eamon, you've probably seen this in your world too, where it's just like, you know, no, we have to get through the segment, wrap it the fuck up, stop
Yeah.
stretching this shit. And JR is at that point right now during introductions, and he's getting constantly interrupted by Justin Roberts doing intros.
The thing is, you put Jim Ross on the show where they cram too much shit in 1 hour.
Yeah, that show goes way too fast to have slow drawl JR going on there. That you know,
I've said
you
before, and I'll
also-
say it again. Jim Ross should be saved for the main event of every AEW pay-per-view, and
Sure.
that's it.
sure.
He
Pretty
knows
much.
how to like to make a match big, like in like he's great at that. Like there's certain I think there's strengths that to anyone that if as long as they put him in the right position, I think it can work out.
By the way,
Also, putting JR in the main event of every AEW pay-per-view will ensure he never talks about the women again.
that's
So,
probably a
that's
good
a
one.
positive.
Ooh.
That might be a good one too. It's been getting weird. Although I really, I do. I usually don't listen back to watch back the show for shows I've attended, but I think I kind of want to see how he handled the Vikingo match. I'm sure.
I'm sure he loved
I'm
that.
sure it was terrible. You know,
No,
but
it- No,
yeah.
it wasn't good. He just laid off a lot.
Oh, good. Oh, good. So you didn't know what was going on at that point. It's also very, very late. Like they take their time with Rampage tapings.
Yeah, I was like,
Now-
it was like 4 matches, and I was like, that's a good
Almost-
chunk.
Almost no promos because they usually don't show all the promos from Rampage.
Yeah.
And it was still like a quarter after 11, and Rampage wraps at 10 here, right? So it's just like, what the fuck are we doing, guys?
Well, there was also, I feel like there was like a delay too in starting it when we were taping.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Like,
It took a bit for them to get to it. I don't know if they were giving. I don't know. Well, they give like a good 10-minute break before Dynamite too for Dark previously and now Ring of Honor. But yeah, maybe it was they were on purpose doing that space. Maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was weird. But like everything is. It's also very strange that Bobby Cruz does a countdown into every match. You know? Like
yeah.
I was like, where are we really? Like, you know, it's the first time I've seen that taping, you know, kind of thing. So, and then working in that environment.
I get when you're like doing live Dynamite and
Yeah.
you come back from commercial, you want everyone like.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I didn't understand. He could. Yeah, for the Ring of Honor stuff, I didn't understand it.
And I'm really curious about what is that production process for those. Obviously, we're just doing matches, put them in the can. They're posting it later, kind of thing. I was surprised that it wasn't the matches for the next night because I started seeing the things. and I was
Right?
like,
yeah.
wait a minute,
They're like a week behind.
yeah. So the Pittsburgh stuff is popping up this week on Thursday. and which has really got because I keep getting delayed and watching stuff several days later because of my travel schedule. So I got really, really confused for a little bit there. I was like, oh, this is from when? Wait, they're still in Long Island? What the fuck are they still doing in Long Island? They were in like Milwaukee last night or something, right?
Yeah.
And it messes with me because
I will say I think it's a good episode this week, at least from what
it
we
looks
were
like
there.
it.
I would like the Athena Lady Frost match is something that I think people should definitely check out. I thought it was really, really good. And then the Blake Christian Gringo Loco. That was also, I remember being really good. Like we were saying before, it is kind of like Elevation with slightly bigger stakes, which I don't mind. Like
Which is great. That's Ring of Honor then, you know? I mean, I think they fit right into that slot.
Because also, if you watch, I watched like some of like the tail end before they got sold. Like it's not that different.
No, it really isn't. It really isn't. And also, Ring of Honor is now happening in front of 10,000 people.
Right.
Or whatever, 8,000, whatever it was that night, right?
Yeah.
You know, a bigger audience than they ever did.
Hey, if
Ever
WWE
did.
can inflate their numbers, so can we.
Right. And now you have this concept. And I think I talked about this on the show where, you know, you have, you know, Tony Khan saying Ring of Honor is being seen in front of more people than ever. Yes, because you're bringing their belt out on TNT in primetime. Of course you're fucking doing better, right? And you have TNT production behind it, or I'm sorry, AEW production behind it regardless. Like, that's the same team. So you're doing things the AEW way as far as the general production. Obviously, there's little things they're doing specifically for Ring of Honor.
And I'm sure Sinclair wasn't.
The dude, they had their pile of money that was very small for a wrestling company, even on their level. Like everything I hear about the production, it was like the, you know, I saw some production that was like for a television taping, and I'm like, this looks like an indie show.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? You know, you're on television,
but
and
also
it looks like this.
But also like depending on when you're watching too. It's
yes,
like,
absolutely.
When we were still in Texas, but it was only on at like midnight or 1 a.m.
Yep. It was on like 5 times over the weekend here.
Yeah.
Like all over, like the morning, the afternoon, and at 1 a.m. again. You know, Saturday and Sunday every week.
Jeez.
So yeah, it was a time filler, but it was very. I talked to a Sinclair. Well, it wasn't Sinclair. It was for one of their channels that carried Ring of Honor. And we were talking about advertising for one of my clients like 10 years ago, and they're like, "Yeah, we're very happy. Like the only thing that does better than Ring of Honor is Seinfeld or Friends or something like that, right?"
Yeah.
So you know,
It's one of those channels.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like 22.
Well, it's like Destination America.
It was like
I forgot about Destination America.
No, it's not even that. It's the local channel, but it's one of those that used to be a WB and before they became CW.
Yeah,
and now they're
Destination
nothing, and they're
America.
like my Pittsburgh, that carried maybe Twilight Zone for a while, and then
Destination America used to be like the TV Guide channel.
Oh, I
right,
didn't
but
know
it was
that.
still a cable channel, right? So, and then this goes back to my inflation idea, because WrestleMania saying, our numbers are the biggest. We broke new records. It's like, yes, because I know this changed recently, but half of your people incidentally have Peacock because they subscribe to Xfinity and it's included in their package, or they're watching Real House, Bravo. Fucking Bravo and Hallmark, right?
Yeah.
And they're like,
I've been watching every season of Top Chef.
well, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. You're not even here for it, so you have these incidental signups that aren't paying $10 a month to see WrestleMania and whatever else. So now, of course, your number, it's the next best thing to literally just putting WrestleMania on USA Network on Sunday night.
Basically.
It's literally the next best thing.
Yeah.
On top of, and we broke records. Yes, because you're 2 nights. I want to say they're artificially inflating. They're
When they were doing the combined attendance figures, I was like, okay, guys.
I was like, most of these people were here both nights.
Absolutely.
You can't add those people together.
Our
That's one
attendance-
person.
160 tickets sold, not 160 individuals.
Yes.
1,000 individuals.
If you want to say we sold this many tickets, great. That's great. I can get
They
behind
say
that.
attendance. They say attendance.
attendees.
Yes.
It's like, no, that person attended twice. That's one attendee.
Yes. I'm
But
too
if you're delineating it as the nights of WrestleMania, like there are some people who just go to one night.
Oh, absolutely, especially the locals, right?
But I mean, they.
But also, weren't they classifying both nights as sellouts? But the second night was larger.
Second night had more people, but the first night was sold out.
That's where I was like,
So
Meanwhile, I'm looking up at all the empty seats in the nosebleeds as they were announcing that. I'm like, I don't know about this, you guys, But also remember that one was because I was waiting later. And remember I think even all the seats we got were all resales. So technically they sold out.
Well,
did
yeah,
those tickets
that Ticketmaster bullshit.
Did
where
the tickets? And this didn't happen in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Like they're still get tickets for $30 at the door at Dallas because that damn thing was so huge they never filled it. But I think they still call it a fucking sellout. But it's a sellout. This thing holds 100,000. We did 85. It's like, wait, guys, wait a minute, something's not like. Who's your fucking math guy? Over there.
1,000 of you didn't have babies in between.
Yeah. It turns out we had a big run at the hospital last night, and they all got a ticket for today. Anyways, but
half the baby's first words were "acknowledge me."
Yeah, right.
oh man, I love you. I think that closes the loop on that argument. Fuck. So I don't know. We didn't. I feel like you did not get enough complaining about the advertising in.
No, it was just like It's
I
like,
just want to know if Soruk is in the LWO. That's all I want.
Still, the funniest thing was the image we got. I think Katie got it of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch mascot being led away.
Oh, like it was
as if something bad had happened.
Like
to
it was a child that like
Yes. Oh, that was the girl. Like what did he do? Oh no.
My thing is just like, okay, like, are you getting paid more by like how many times you like and how many places you put the advertisements?
Oh yeah, I mean, probably. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure all that's part of the contract that they signed.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like I
honestly thought at one point we were at a Pirates game and they were doing the pierogi race with how many different like people in costumes we had out there. It was like, what is going on?
But also like, my thing is just like, I don't know. Like it's hard to like be like, yeah, I know I was like before, like, make your money, but like this is also the company that just sold for how many $1 billion? Like
make your money, but do you need the money that bad?
Yeah,
right.
It also like it was that combined with I really hated the Triple H promo the night after where he was basically selling WWE as if they were like this up and coming independent that was like we're gonna be here. It was like you guys are literally a conglomerate.
Stop telling us that you're a small business.
Look,
like you're a
Linda
mom and pop
McMahon-
shop.
Linda McMahon was the head of small business in
Yeah, but no, like it's just like
it's insulting, is what it is. It's fucking insulting.
You don't need to put that fifth.
Look, make your money by making your product better. Maybe like do that. Like give us better wrestling. Give us better storylines. Give us a better product. Like people will show up when you start putting effort into your
Babe,
product.
it's all a big story.
We don't need to.
Yeah.
Like I don't give a shit about. Like nobody drank the fucking Mountain Dew Dark.
This is the first chapter, and this is the next chapter, and you go see how the story ends. You see that the funny thing is the story doesn't end because we got Raw the next night, and we gotta see what happens next.
I was just like, oh my god.
That fucking rambling answer was like, dude, you don't even believe this shit. You're just like, nah.
Like I think I used the metaphor. in the big, Marvel movie where, Thanos evaporates half the population, and then in like the first act of the next movie they kill him.
Yeah.
And you got to wait till the next movie, the first 5 minutes to end the movie before.
We gotta wait for the year for the next chapter.
Right.
And
you can't do the whole like this is a big story with chapters metaphor when WrestleMania is the final chapter. That is like.
Well, we got Raw the next night, and we got SmackDown, brother.
Like I don't believe that Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia is the final chapter.
Like you can't spend 3-4 months pointing at a sign when you get to the sign and that's not it. Like what are you gonna tell me? You're pointing to just behind the sign? Like that's not like.
I'm pointing to the Raw after Mania. It's on the other side of it. And there's a little sticker.
A little backlash logo comes in.
That's where the fire started that one time at Royal Rumble.
Everyone's just going to a calendar now.
All right, guys. We're going to move on, but first some ads. Our friends at Slice on Broadway supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Every time these guys are in here on Thursday nights, I find remnants of Slice on Broadway.
Oh.
That's first of all.
It's
so
great
I
pizza.
know it works. I know it works. They don't even sponsor their podcast yet. So, yet. New York City style yins are made, Beachview, Carnegie, East End, and the North Hills, and the new location in the South Side works in a little box outside the Cheesecake Factory. So go check them out. Thank you to them for supporting the show, sliceonbroadway.com. We're going to be back after some more ads. We'll be right back, and we're going to talk about that Fancy Pants new belt right after this.
The Shadow Man Elijah, and of course, Project X. Most dangerous individuals I've seen in RWA in a long, long time. Project Society are about to have their hands full with these two legends. We have not seen Brandon Cage in an RWA ring since 2011. Right where he wants him, maybe flying body press in the beauty. Here comes Dean, takes him out, and oh my goodness, has him up.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
See?
Kick by Shadow Man to the knee. Down, and here comes Elijah. Train kept her rolling. Picks him up and, oh my God! Has the DDT! Death Valley! Death Valley!
Ridiculous.
How is it ridiculous?
Project X was robbed.
And you ended up on your ass because you're nothing more than a goddamn loser!
Oh boy. Oh God! All the credit in the world to Project X and Elijah.
Look out!
Oh, wait a minute!
Afternoon, it's payback time.
Fulton. Oh, gets dropped! To charge. And get one last one in on Fulton. Chambers high into the heaven. Anything in his arsenal to take down somebody like Fulton. Wait a second!
Man.
Choke slam right on the apron. Oh my God,
man.
Can go for the distance, but Fulton with that sidewalk slam.
He has the mental acumen as well.
Chambers like a lawn dart. Onto the knee, Ushigoroshi. Chambers able to land on his feet. Super kick, runs him.
Oh, look out. Discus elbow.
Oh, big choke slam, food chain. Fall away slam. Chambers. Reversal.
Victory roll.
And now he has a victory over Madman Fulton.
Controversial combination of money shot.
I have never seen the runway look more motivated.
And the Rad Boys just wanted to get themselves into the conversation because instead of defending those titles against the championship pedigree tag team, they now have to contend with two more challengers as well. All the blood rushing to the head that have the chance to win here, but making a tag and a huge Uranagi. Nystrom goes to the floor. Wow. Cambridge is not going to relinquish these titles without a fight. Big Stereo dives as well. And Elijah D. Look out. Hard attack for Rad Boys. Just. Oh, look out. Oh, man. Elijah Dean. He's going to capitalize. Steal this one. He did it. Money shot. Got it. Elijah Dean.
are back. Ooh, I like that fly-in. That feels like old WWF Coliseum video shit. Wrestling Mayhem Show. Mad Mike up in the New York representation. Eamon, the formerly known as the Wrestle Fan. I can still say formerly known as.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's like your old WWE gimmick.
Yeah,
Hey, you could just call him a gay now.
no, let's not
I don't
do that.
think I can do that.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
I'm pretty sure I shouldn't do that.
Even if
He's
Eamon
a
gave us,
gay. I'm his Enby.
Yes. How does the show start? Welcome to a Gay and Enby.
I mean,
Yes.
it's not like Jay and Silent Bob where you can just separate and delineate.
Yes. And plus, like, partner's going to clip this. That's going to get me in trouble. You know?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I can't, we got to contextualize this thing. Yeah.
AI exists now. You're screwed. Your face is out there.
I'm
You can't.
done. I'm still waiting for something from like 10 years ago I said that's not okay in 23.
Or something.
Yeah.
From a
George will be
Thailand
advertising pizza in 3089.
Yes, I will. So, but anyways, what is happening over here? Oh, there it is. So let's talk about belts, not the ones that keep our pants up.
Oh, really? I prepared for a different conversation.
Oh, okay.
I have a really cute elastic one that I'm wearing.
Oh,
right
there you
now.
go. That should just be the champion.
I don't have a belt. I just got sweatpants on.
Can we just have a functional wrestling belt for a championship for the
Honestly,
company?
at this point,
So,
It looks so stupid.
listen, one day. Whoa, okay, hold on. Sidebar. One day when Wrestling Mayhem Show starts their own wrestling show, because apparently that's what the podcasts do these days. I learned about yesterday. So the door has been opened. And then we'll have you guys represent with a belt, okay? And it's just going to be like a fashion belt, right?
Yeah.
It's a functional, yet presentable, yet I don't know. Use your fashion words that I don't know.
Honestly,
use your
I'm
fashion words.
I'm shocked
I don't know.
that there's not been a single wrestling company whose championship is a fanny pack.
Oh my God,
actually,
that's
I think-
fabulous.
okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Not true. And filmed it. So there is a thing where
Oh my god, I think I
the
know what
runway
Okay.
at a company we don't that a company that we don't talk about anymore. It's on YouTube. I think it's on there for free. I can't remember. But they came out with championship belt fanny packs and attempted to defend them.
Okay, but that's not the same thing. I'm saying like an actual company has a fanny pack as their world champion.
Well, if the company was smart about it, they would have recognized the championship. Okay, let's be honest about this.
Is it on cagematch.net? That's all that matters.
Yes. Speaking of, I gotta figure. Damn it, I still need to figure that part out. There's a company that's not on Cage Match yet. I sent them all the matches. They're like, "We need winners, bro," and I'm like, "Ah, fuck."
Yeah.
That's right. That would be important. Not finding the winners for 2 months of a company. Where are we at? Belts.
Yes.
Championship belts.
Belts,
The
belts,
new
belts.
World Heavyweight Championship belt was unveiled. One that Triple H is very familiar with.
And a belt of great equal stature to the undisputed WWE World Championship, which they're still calling it that. Which I'm like,
so it's literally the same thing when Brock got exclusively drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah, because actually
Literally
it was
the same
because it was an undisputed belt because they joined together the WCW and the WWE belt, right?
right.
And it became that belt, and then it went over there and just became the WWE belt again, and we had a World Heavyweight Championship.
But that's the
I
thing,
have a
though.
feeling there will be a name change to what Roman holds.
I would hope
Yes.
so, because that's not what undisputed means.
yeah, Steve, I think there might be a dispute. You created a new dispute.
But yes, me and Mike are both in agreement about the look of the title belt, and Merlin's the only one.
I like.
I
Well,
like it.
I think it's fine.
Okay, the two of us can tag team.
All right. This is
I
interesting.
think it looks fucking stupid.
I was like, okay. I was like,
It's following the current trend of belts.
yeah, which
So-
I don't like any of their current belts, which I think is my issue. Like, I get why.
I don't mind the WWE title and the Universal title. I don't mind that. That at least looks clean and streamlined.
Mm-hmm.
This,
Very toyetic.
yeah, exactly. This belt looks like a clunky piece of crap.
Grandiose, and it's like it's like a fucking chandelier in a fancy place.
Yeah,
No,
like
it's
it.
not.
I'm
I
also
like
like,
it.
well, I showed you the old World Heavyweight belt. I'm like, this is what the old one looked like, and you're like, I hate that one.
No, I hate that one because it's too flat. There's not enough definition. Like
No,
all of
I
the-
get that. I understand that argument.
Like this
But
new
this
one
is
is
the wrong way
that,
to
but
go.
you give more definition. There's a deeper relief to things. Now I do wish that the back was embossed, so we got more of that black contrast with the gold standing out more
Are you
from
talking
it.
about you want the
Yeah.
back of the leather or
No, no, no.
like-
the
No,
back-
no, like the base of the base of the
base
plate.
gold and the plate in the back.
Yeah.
Like all of the stuff risen above it should be gold, but the back should be black so that it stands out more. I think that would add some contrast that would really make it stand out more.
It
but
just looks like a big old blob of gold.
Yeah.
But see, that's why I don't like the old one. The old one's too much of a blob of gold. This one I think is much better because at least you get shadow play because it's a much deeper carving. Don't make fun of my word choice.
You're the one that wanted the
No,
fashion
I'm
words.
I'm recognizing and appreciating his like shadow play.
No, but I think what you were saying before, Sorg, like it's like I think it's just because of the way the belts look now. Like it's across the board their design style. We're like 3 years in, and I still don't like the Intercontinental title, and I'm like,
Got the big WWE across it. You just got all this ornate design around it. It's the first time I've done like a close up look at it, and yeah, it's like a fucking chandelier. But
it didn't look good.
it looks like something in my grandma's old china closet.
It
but-
look.
I do like the modded version that I showed you earlier. So for those watching, I'm on like a Facebook group that's all queer fans of wrestling, and somebody went in and modded the high def picture that was put out, and it's really nice. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but
Yeah, that's not bad.
they added some more embossing. They
some
added
color to it.
So they added the red underline to the logo. They added some of those red gems from the old design, like way back in the day design. So I mean, it's much better. Shout out to Cameron Lee who modded that.
I also think the graphic of it looks better than like when Triple H actually showed it. Like it was. It looked a little like
Yeah, but that's on the lighting.
Yeah,
That's- you
but the
can't-
graphic of it isn't how it's going to look on
yeah,
TV.
no, exactly.
Or wait, it was like the TNT title where it's not done yet. You know?
Oh, I forgot about that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like I also
Or like the Lucha Underground belt where it wasn't the real belt. It was just so Brian Cage could rip it apart and then Dario Cueto shelled out money.
So World Heavyweight Championship is now on pre-order in WWE Shop, so you can potentially get it before the actual first champion does.
Cody Rhodes.
So I don't know when it's getting delivered. It's not. I don't know. I don't think
It's not going to be Cody Rhodes.
I don't think it's gonna be.
Oh,
Good.
you don't think so?
No.
Hell
No.
no, absolutely not. First of all, Cody's beating Roman at some point.
Yes,
In
He's
like
going to.
in like 2 years.
that is the whale.
No, I still think he wins Money in the Bank and it happens at SummerSlam. I still think that because then he's over the 1,000 days. He's at 3 years. Like I think that's.
I can
that's
see
still
that.
Probably
I
where
can
it
see
happens.
that definitely. I can see him definitely winning, doing the cash in, and then still losing with a Solo Sikoa run. Like,
Well, I mean, yes, but
I feel like that's the perfect like now that you've spoken that into existence, like I'm sure Vince is just like that's the perfect thing to dangle in front of them.
Yeah, but I also think you don't want someone who bills himself as the American Nightmare winning a world championship in Saudi Arabia. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me. It seems like bad optics.
I mean, I think back though to all those Bray matches or all the Fiend matches in Saudi Arabia that were like almost on the nose.
But
I mean,
I
if
feel
they-
like it has to be. I feel like it has to be Seth.
To be fair, if they cared that much about optics, they wouldn't be running shows in Saudi Arabia.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, but they care more about money than they do optics.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
fair.
Yeah, money does kind of change the the game there.
But I think it kind of has to be Seth.
I think it makes sense. I mean, this was we were talking like this is the frustrating thing of like it's cool having Roman be this badass, but then also you get a lot of frustrated wrestlers underneath being like, so what do we do? Like, what is? I'm going to challenge for the U.S. belt again. Okay,
I would like a tournament for this new belt filled with people who have not wrestled Roman Reigns, but I know that's unrealistic.
I mean, at least when Brock was the champion, he had the decency to not be on TV half the time. At least then there was space for other people to wrestle.
And you haven't seen Roman for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah, no.
You can tell who's been watching the product.
And he's not a part of Backlash next week.
Really?
Yeah. So and that's the interesting thing too, because we were talking about this too. You realize like there is no mainland American pay-per-view until SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico is America. That's not mince words there. But still, it's like going to Hawaii.
There's no pay-per-view in the States.
I can't drive to a pay-per-view until SummerSlam.
It's not all about you, Sorg.
But I mean, that's all of us. None of us can drive.
Well, I mean, Sorg, you can pull a car onto a boat and take it across.
I could take a ferry to Backlash.
Raising?
I don't know.
If this is you offering to take me to Backlash, Sorg.
Oh, that's a show title. I can't wait to type that in the Mid Journey.
And you complain about the gay and his Enby titles.
Listen. Listen. Check my phrasing. Or my spelling.
But no, how long do we think until the brand split that they're definitely doing disintegrates? I give it a year.
Yeah, give me till WrestleMania.
Well, I mean, the brands always kind of get glossy around Survivor Series.
Yeah.
If they still do like, who knows if we're even doing War Games again this year? But if we're doing War Games, the teams will probably be from separate brands.
Oh fuck your brand split bragging rights bullshit. Fuck you. Sorry.
Brand supremacy, Sorg.
Fuck your brand supremacy, you asshole.
It means something.
Fuck you. I'm getting PTSD from this shit.
You know what it's gonna be. Raw's going to be sponsored by one thing. SmackDown's going to be sponsored by another thing, and those mascots are going to be in the fucking War Games game.
It's going to be Pepsi versus Coke.
Oh my god.
Oh hell yeah! CM Punk return confirmed.
It's gonna be
Boom.
it's gonna be USA versus Fox again. Like the one draft. Are we gonna get the lame? Who is selecting the draft?
Okay.
Who are the heads that are selecting the draft? Is Adam Pearce getting a show? Is somebody else getting the other show? Are we gonna have a general manager situation? Is Sonya Deville gonna get a show now? Which would be amazing. Yep. Is Logan Paul? Is Bad Bunny getting a show? Fucking yeah, I won't pick Bad Bunny.
Honestly,
I would love to see
epic.
Bad Bunny draft.
I mean, is Snoop Dogg getting the show? Please fucking Snoop Dogg get a show.
Yes.
And Miz is on it. Just fucking, give me something to give a shit about after this thing. Because this just reeks of we're going into the known stuff and we're just gonna fucking guide our shit on from this. Fucking give me something definitive. Give me make Raw the fucking Youngblood show and SmackDown is the fucking like big name show because we're on fucking Fox, right? Like back in the day when you had the Paul Heyman era fucking Ruthless Aggression SmackDown where these guys were fucking killing it every week, right?
That was the wrestling show. And Raw
was the wrestle show, right? Wouldn't it be amazing if Raw was the wrestle show and SmackDown was the tight but over the top Roman Reigns Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton show, you know, and then over there we had your Austin Theories, Bobby Lashley's, Walter kind of show, and it just fucking was killer, right? And SmackDown is real killer for having Walter on there and the way they've been doing the IC belt over the last year, right? So like fucking Xavier Woods and Walter, Sheamus and Walter, you know, I'm hoping Shinsuke comes back around and takes on Walter again, and we have a good match. But I know it's gonna be
I'd
Karrion
rather
Kross.
see Shinsuke take on Roman, but that's just me.
Oh, absolutely, like a for
that'd
real
be good.
run at
Or
it, right?
actually, Shinsuke winning that world title. Give me that.
You got a
Give
lot
me
of work.
that. I would love that.
You got a lot of work to make Shinsuke a contender.
Well, you've got until next year's SummerSlam, and he beats the record to do it. So
There you go. There you go. There you go. I mean, just let him be that superstar, and it's not just a fucking theme thing for us to sell fucking Old Spice or whatever. You know, let him be that fucking crazy superstar that you know he is. But that's what I fucking want. So I don't know. Sorry. Sorry.
How do you really feel those?
I don't feel like he has many opinions about this one. I feel like he's just meh. It's not.
You know, I don't have these hard feelings about AEW. You know who does have hard feelings about AEW? Mad Mike. What is your gripe of the week?
Why?
Sponsored by Old Spice.
Sponsored by Old Spice. Sponsored by Los Palmas Taco Stand.
Sponsored by hand tattoos from your sister.
So I was gonna say, let me just say,
sponsored by Turner's Tea. Sponsored by
everything listed behind me.
Sponsored by the Terrible Towel.
Sponsored by Icy Light Iced Tea. I'm sorry, these are all super local references that nobody out there gets.
Why did we have to combine the Outcasts and the Jericho Appreciation Society?
In the same tone, I'm going to say, why did we have to combine Icy Light beer and iced tea? Who the fuck thought of this? Anyway, sorry. What was that again?
No, that's fine. That's fair. No one.
The Outcasts and the JAS?
Yeah.
You think it's an ongoing thing? It's not an ongoing
yes,
thing.
I guarantee it is.
I think they
Sorg, I guarantee before the end of June, we will have Jericho and Saraya versus Adam Cole and Britt Baker.
It'll be the Saraya.
That I wouldn't be
Appreciation.
surprised by.
Sure, yeah. I mean that makes sense.
But also,
that's money.
When we were there live, I was like, I think it's because they didn't want to actually go there and have Jericho hit Britt with the kendo stick, which I think would have been much cooler.
Because we did that at another company locally,
yeah.
by the way. Because I think she got super kicked by somebody. Maybe RJ City. I can't remember who they were feuding with at the time, but they basically did the same fucking storyline.
Yeah, once they got the handcuffs out and like Jericho had, I was like, oh, this is good. And once he handed it to, I was like,
I can't wait to see.
They fucked up the handcuff spot though.
That's what I was confused. Well, Daniel Garcia like. He
fucked up the handcuffs.
He only handcuffed his wrist, but which I guess technically still works, but like
it still works. But he's supposed to be able to reach out into the middle of the ring and just barely not. He couldn't even reach out because his actual wrist was handcuffed to the rope.
Those handcuffs can be tricky. I once did a handcuff spot for a match.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, where is this going, Eamon?
Well, no. Now that I think about it, I did two. I did one where
How many times have you been handcuffed in public?
It's cuffing season.
Tune in to A Gay and His Enby After Dark to find out.
Don't make me answer that. No, there was one I had to get do the whole handcuff to the rope thing as a heel manager on the outside and fucked up the handcuffs completely. I literally had to like sneakily readjust it to clip them in, which was fun. And then the other was they also had the idea to handcuff me to a fan who won a raffle.
It was great.
You and BC Steel need to swap stories.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was great for you.
Honestly, Eamon, you should change that to how you two met.
No.
Merlin was a fan who won, and you guys got handcuffed together at an indie show.
And I forgot what it was. Like he kept wanting to go around the ring, like
the fan.
Well, because as a man, I'm like, I know that I stick in my spot as a manager, that's, and it's just like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like,
It's like, I get it. You want to be over here and doing this, but I need to be on the opposite corner to do my spot. I need you.
Wait. Did you still have spots while handcuffed to this fan?
I can't remember.
Because that seems like a horrible idea.
No, I probably didn't. Yeah, I think we've thought that part through at least. But no, yeah. But no,
I've heard worse ideas.
yeah, I immediately noted. I was like, he just handcuffed him to the rope. Like, I thought, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, is the rope and his wrist in the same hand? What are we doing here, guys?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, God, it was just ridiculous.
But either way, I'm sure that. But I know the whole reaching out. You know, they filmed the rest of it fine. We'll let it around that. But that promo the next several weeks is going to look pretty great, right?
Yeah.
Like that. That's what I'm like. You know, it's me. I'm like,
I feel like
this is going to be great in promos in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, because I feel like
Kevin Sullivan's going to love this shit.
yeah, exactly.
Not that Kevin Sullivan, the one in Nashville. So
I just needed more like. Well, I was gonna say I needed more like scream crying from Adam Cole, but like I feel like it didn't warrant it in a weird way.
Did you watch the video of it? Or are you just saying this based on like being there in person?
Being there in person,
Okay.
I didn't get to watch.
No,
it
it was well shot. It was just.
Yeah.
I just don't like.
Because I always think to the Tommy Dreamer one where they 3D Beulah and he's like just like scream crying and just sweating, like.
I mean, but at a certain point, don't you realize, hey, she's also a pro wrestler.
That's the thing.
She knows what the fuck she's doing.
Like,
yeah, this is gonna hurt.
She's
and this
bled.
is frustrating.
She's bled and done hardcore matches.
there are literal action figures of her bleeding buckets.
That's why it needed to be.
The first shirt I saw was the one of her bleeding. So
Yeah,
when I
that's
walked
why
up
it needed to be Jericho. You wanted that Steve Austin hitting Lita with the chair moment where it gets a little too uncomfortable. Like,
Absolutely.
I think that's
first
also,
episode of Lucha Underground. You know the reason we did a fucking podcast about Lucha Underground? Chavo Guerrero blasted Sexy Star in the goddamn face with the chair. That was the reason. We're like, oh, this is gonna be a different show.
Yeah, part of my desensitized brain is like, just go there. Like, take the fine.
Yeah, just do it. It's fine.
Yep. And we go. Still, I think it served the purpose. It's crossing over their ongoing feuds. It's elevated their feuds independently. It created a moment, and it's not the point that like, yeah, oh no, she can take a kendo stick. Like, it still fucking hurts, right? And they're doing it right in front of the loved one. Like, that makes everything fucking worse. Like, that's the story, that's the feeling, that's the vibe. And that's the thing that they're going to be carrying through the next several weeks of this thing to put it over. And I think it's fucking great, and it is making those. And I think it elevates both of those stories, both of those feuds. I think because the Outcast has just been kind of like back and forthing and okay, just more in the spray paint and where are we going with this? And I know we're filling until whatever the next big thing is, whether it be in a Dynamite or the pay-per-view itself, but. They needed that. They really needed that.
I don't know
that kind of thing.
I don't know how well it read on TV, but I felt like the heat was good in the.
Oh
arena.
yeah, you fucking did it in Pittsburgh. Come on.
Well, no, the heat was good, but
I was just surprised by that because like I had.
They just went right to the edge. It didn't go. Yeah. Because
it
was just. It was. Yeah.
Yeah, because from what I've been hearing about like the weekly television, I was surprised that like even in the tag match, I thought the Outcast like at least got over, and part of it is Britt and being in Pittsburgh and stuff like that. I just thought it was interesting.
And they've been facing her and Jamie. I mean, Jamie's over as fuck.
They
everywhere.
kind of had to once she went over like that. They kind of had to transition them to face.
Yeah,
because they took the hint and didn't keep them heel for 3 years while the crowd didn't.
And they were still heelish, but they were
WWE with Roman.
They're not ignoring the they're not ignoring the face. They I mean, MJF did the thing where he got faced and then turned it back, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like he was, and that's what he wants to do, and that was great. They rode the wave and then back in the shore on that one, right? It was expertly done.
Expertly.
It was fine.
It was fine. It was fine.
His heat is nuclear most places he goes.
Well, it was in the sense that like there was a.
But that's not because of the booking. That's because of him.
Yeah. Okay. Booking plus execution, it creates a wrestling show, Mike.
I think what you're meaning. So it like there was I forgot like the exact point, but like I was like, oh god, they might be turning him too much face.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like, to where it's gonna be like, especially with an AEW crowd, like it's like once they like realize, like, oh, we can just cheer this person. Like there's almost no going back to it. I understand like in that regard, like that becomes sort of a precarious predicament.
I just never bought it because I know, dude. Like,
Well, yeah. Oh, you were great. You were great anytime you would be cutting those like Regal face promos, and he was just like, he's an asshole.
it's like I hated it. I hated it so much. It was just like, this is so bad. Like, come on.
Just go. Just keep going.
Anybody that doesn't have the history with MJF is just like, yeah, sure, we'll buy this. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, I've got some oceanfront property in Arizona for you.
Hey, and the point is, does wrestling at least make the bulk of the audience believe it for a minute, right?
Yeah.
Even if they just kind of, smack you in the face afterwards. Tina, of course, this is an all Pittsburgh show. Notice how they build you up with the Wardlow title win and then crash with the Bret and Adam attack. Yeah. Man, Pittsburgh ate it all up, as they will. They fucking know how to book Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah.
I do love whenever they book to the city.
Yes.
I think that's something that
they
I wish.
don't ignore it. They don't fucking embarrass the person in their own town.
Yeah.
Like that
Or
bullshit.
But you know what? Sometimes that's good.
I don't actually. Yeah, I agree. I don't mind sometimes when they embarrass. I feel like WWE doesn't even acknowledge it anymore. Like I feel like for the most part, like I think like maybe for like special pay-per-views and stuff like that. But like obviously with like Sammy in Toronto,
Puerto Rico with
sure.
What's her name?
Zelina.
What's
Zelina.
that?
Oh, Zelina.
Zelina, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. But like I think like
Or like Melina, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. I think one of the things, especially like when AEW started, that I really always enjoyed was that they kind of didn't whitewash the city. Like I got to a place with WWE where it was like they tell us what city we're in, but it's like we could be anywhere. Like
I miss the outside shots in the
yeah,
rain.
yeah, it all looks the same.
That was just a postcard with stock footage.
Yeah, so I appreciate like little recognize and also even like I like when they'll be in sort of like even more like southern like cities and like do a more traditional like throwback show in certain ways in terms of like if you pay attention like styles of the matches and like sort of
AEW?
like, yeah
Yeah.
like I feel like when they're in Texas they kind of like worked a little more towards the style of that
Listen,
the audience knows.
You know when they're in fucking Seattle. All I can say is,
oh yeah,
because I feel like I'm watching a fucking Defy show. It's fucking wild.
Sure.
So, because that crowd shows up and we're like, oh God, like it makes you think like, man, Defy probably can put more than 600 people in a room for their shows.
Yeah,
because they are selling out like with increased ticket prices every fucking month when they're not monthly, but in that room at least. But still, it's just like, wow, no, this fucking town knows this company, knows Shaft, knows these people, knows Swerve, knows Darby, and not just because we saw him on TV. That's fucking crazy up there.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, is that such a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing. I love it. I fucking love it. Seattle is second Chicago for me. So, but I also haven't done Philly for a long time. So
I need to do Philly.
Well, Mania's there next year.
Well,
So.
New Japan is there in August.
Mm-hmm.
And as is New Japan, and then New Japan with Impact.
Yeah, because Philly's
a
definitely
weekend.
like a bucket list.
I would. Then you listen. Cross off 2 of those buckets. Have you been in a New Japan show?
Yes, I went
Okay.
to the one that was in Dallas. And
Oh, the
America.
WrestleCon one we did. Yeah.
No. It was the G1.
G1, yeah.
Oh, that special one they did.
Yeah.
That was like one of the early American shows, right?
Right.
That's right. You guys did get that. So didn't Shane Taylor do that because they lost a bunch of people, or maybe I'm thinking the Ring of Honor show.
Maybe.
'Cause I remember he was talking about how he went to New Japan last time he was in here.
It feels like forever ago.
It was forever ago. It was a pandemic and a decade ago.
Yeah.
Probably. So.
Holy shit.
I'm literally still running into people I have not seen since before the pandemic.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
in wrestling and in other life. It's fucking wild. We had somebody on Awesome Cast like 2 weeks ago, and I'm just like, I literally haven't seen you since I haven't seen you this decade. It's 2023. What the fuck is going on? Anyways, back to it. No, Philly. Yeah, mark down your calendars. You guys should come out to that.
What? There's an Impact and New Japan show.
Oh yeah, they're doing our multiverse show. So okay, wait, let's bring you in.
Because that has me kind of interested.
Mike, see you in
When
Philly. August,
when is that?
like third week of August, I think it is. See you in Philly. They're doing a Super Junior show. I think it is for New Japan, and then I think they announced the multiverse show just like they did at WrestleCon. Which the WrestleVerse show has been popping up. Matches are now popping up on New Japan Strong over on New Japan World. So because I saw that pop up my feed this week, and I'm like, fuck, I need to go see that because I was busy. So doing other things with I don't know somebody called Dax Hardwood. But anyways, I think that was that night. But anyways, yeah. So really cool stuff there, and yeah, and I haven't been to the arena in like at least a decade. So I guess
Was the last time you were there? Was the last time we were there for King of Trios?
yes.
Oh God.
No, wait. What year was that? That was 09, wasn't it?
I think so.
No, I was there in 10. We were there at a Ring
Oh
of Honor.
no, I was there for 10.
No.
Because-
In 2010?
Yes.
No, I was there at a Ring of Honor taping for
okay.
for HDNet.
No, those are the days.
It was a 2-day stint. We were recording. That's where we recorded the Steve Corino interview for Montreal Theory. So I hung out in the crowd the first day and backstage the second day. Yeah. So that was probably the last time I was there, and that's pre all the renovations. So and the mural. The mural in the men's room, I told my wife to go get a picture in front of. I had no idea when I told her. She's like, I'm in the men's room right now. I'm like, what? And she's like, I'd film around, except there's a guy in the urinal over there. I'm like, well, thanks for doing it, So, my wife has been to the ECW arena twice in the last year, and I have not. What the fuck is this life right now? So.
Good on you, Missy.
Yeah, seriously. Missy's having like the best. And I'm not jealous. I'm just so happy for her.
You don't sound like it.
No. No.
I'm kidding.
I've had my own experiences without her, and we've had some joint experiences, and we're just reliving the best wrestle life ever right now. So it's fine. Go hang out in Philadelphia at ECW Arena.
Sunday, August
with Aussie Open, and while I'm sitting here in a hotel room. With Dutters in Texas, were we?
I kind of want to go to that show.
Mike, you should go to both shows.
Because I'm thinking we get Mercedes Moné versus Mickey James or Jordan Grace at that show.
Could be.
Wouldn't be surprised.
By the way, wait, what did she do at Stardom? She did a Tiger Mask tribute. He's telling me.
Sure did.
How do I watch Stardom? I subscribe. I have access to subscriptions to 2 wrestling subscription things, one for multiple companies, and I have not come across a Stardom.
I think you're gonna need a VPN for that.
Yeah. Brought to you by ExpressVPN. How do you think I watch my AEW pay-per-views? Anyways.
Not brought to you by Bleacher Report.
I hope my friends at Fight are not watching. They don't know we're doing things. That's okay. We give them content.
Brought to you by Fight.
See you guys tomorrow. No, we're not. That shit. We were on Fight actually in the early days, but we cut that for I don't know what reason.
Brought to you by Talk Shoe.
Oh, Talk Shoe.
Did I tell you?
Remember when I discovered you guys on Blog TV?
Remember when I told off the new CEO of Talk Shoe in Philadelphia? Because they lost half of my fucking back catalog. So I'm like, hey, new guy, what the fuck?
Look, when you get Sorg mad enough to cuss you out, you done fucked up royally.
I did not cuss at him, but I was very like, hey guys, we've been with you, and I hope you're doing new things with this, and I hope you resurrect the platform. We knew the CEOs and everything from the first go around back in the day in 2006 when we first started, and it was great, but come on, man.
God, the professional cussing out. That hurts worse.
As also the weekend Patreon told me I was breaking their terms of service. So there was a lot of come to Jesus moments in Philadelphia that weekend. That was the only podcast conference I ever attended that wasn't like something we set up, and I never went back.
Wow.
lot of people have a different idea of podcasting, and it's usually means you wrote a book you're trying to sell.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, people have told me we need to do the same thing. Could you imagine a book based on this show?
I sure can. Oh boy!
It would actually be a grab bag of random pages, and
No, Sorg. You know what you could do? You could take a page from Neil Patrick Harris, write a book about this show, but make it choose your own adventure.
I was about to say it would be
a good idea. No, wait. I think we all have a perspective of this. Eamon, I think out of anybody that's been on this show, you're the one that's been your life has been irreparably changed, if not harmed, by this show.
Oh my God! Thanks, Sorg.
I'm
Changed,
saying,
if not harmed.
what is your pitch for your book based on the Wrestling Mayhem Show?
I was like, irreparably harmed, but you guys did chop me that one time.
We chopped the shit out of you that day in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Oh please! I got there will still come up on my Facebook messages where I got chopped at a bowling alley by
Yeah, there was that.
Right, but you weren't like 14, Mike.
His body was still developing, and I think that's where the irreparably
was mine.
Yeah.
he was a small child back then.
Yes, and we listened to King Frown the entire way up.
I remember
So,
that. Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. That does more harm than good.
I didn't meet.
Love you, Frown.
I was gonna say I met King Frown at Rise.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Like this, and I was like, "This is the guy."
Has Eamon met everyone associated with this show except me?
That's why everybody needs to go to Philadelphia in August.
There we go.
There you
See
go.
you in
There you
August.
go. Oh man.
Oh wait, that means Eamon and I owe each other chops.
Yeah, about 10
Is that
years
what
of
that
them.
means?
About 10 years
Probably.
of them.
No,
Anyway, so what's your book pitch?
my book pitch for the Wrestling Mayhem Show. I know what section of the bookstore it would be. But I don't know.
Trash can.
We won't go there. Yeah, but no, I was literally about to say a choose your own adventure. That has to be like at least. Yeah, there's a lot of material.
Are you going to do barbed wire karaoke or leg wrestle with chest flexor that may involve fire? Choose your adventure.
Do you want to see Doc Remedy crash into a child seat, or do you want to scream profanity at a stuffed owl? Look at this page.
Yeah.
Do you want to chug? What was it? Cocaine. Yeah, it was cocaine.
It was a
right?
drink called cocaine. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. It was a drink. It was an energy drink called cocaine. Okay? Nobody, to my knowledge, has ever done actual cocaine on this show. Okay?
Oh, on this show. Okay.
Yeah, on the show. No.
I don't give a shit what you do outside the studio. And there's a lot of stuff I allow in the studio, but that is not one of them.
Yes. Sorg is strictly a mushrooms man. That's why he's wearing the Mario Brothers shirt in theaters today.
Not this one. Not this one. I can barely get it on DVD. So, gotta import it on Blu-ray. So, Mike, what is your Wrestling Mayhem Show book pitch?
Okay, so failing the choose your own adventure thing. My Wrestling Mayhem Show book show pitch would be a picture book. A picture book.
I think it fits our audience. Okay.
No, like the old the kid books like Spot Goes to the Picnic. It'll just be a series of books called Sorg Has a Podcast. You just show splash pages from the podcast, and they're all animated, and there are liftable flaps, and you can see all the other hidden characters and tricky meanings from the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
I'm just saying, we know several illustrators. I literally have a book over there with a shout out to me, illustrated by somebody that we know.
Sorg, you have your own Wrestling Mayhem Monopoly game.
I do.
Because I got really bored one year.
Now that like so many more of us are actually here in Pittsburgh, we need to actually get together and play that on a stream. So
you really should.
Yeah. So that still needs to happen. Do you want to use?
I'm still working on Wrestling Jeopardy.
Back to the choose your adventure. Will you use wheels as a weapon or chop him?
Yes.
The answer is always chop.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
I think the weapon against Necro Butcher is still one.
No. You position Wheels at the top of a ramp. You chop him, and he flies backwards into someone else.
Oh, I mean, this is an off thing, but if we took Wheels to XPW,
Oh no!
how long before he becomes an object?
2.3 seconds.
He becomes part of the Department of Fuckery, as they call it over there.
Would he get wheeljacked? Would someone take the wheels off of his chair?
Very low. If he goes to Newark, definitely.
Well, yeah, obviously.
So, and I haven't seen where they do the LA shows, so either way, it's probably dirty. They have a theme. Anyways, fucking XPW. Did you see Masada lit himself on fire?
I
this
did
week?
see that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
The man who I kept seeing under literally every rock at WrestleMania weekend, I swear. And then I just, like, 2 weeks later, I'm just like, oh, he just fucking lit himself on fire. I guess he's having a great time. Fuck. Don't clip that. Because apparently I run into him everywhere. Guys, what'd you learn from wrestling this week? Fuck, we gotta get out of here. I don't know what the fuck to do next. That was something.
Oh, Sorg, it's only tomorrow.
Mike, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned don't check your email after 6.
Okay, that is wrestling related.
Just as a general rule, have some work-life balance.
Yeah. Have some work by. Don't read the Wrestling Inc. report.
Yeah, no, I learned that by playing GM mode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're so realistic these days. Eamon, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned that it's a never-ending story, and the story never ends. And even though you might want to finish the story, it doesn't end. There's another chapter in the story.
Cody Rhodes
That is pro
riding
wrestling.
a Braun Strowman into the next chapter.
Honestly,
It's just, but you know, Braun doesn't have any legs. It's just like whatever that fucking dragon thing had.
who gets sucked
Who's the
into
Falcor?
yeah, who gets sucked into the tar pit or whatever.
I think we all know that's Dolph Ziggler.
There we go.
Hey, Merlin, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
Oh, I learned that the belts are going to be pretty, but some people are going to think they're ugly, and then some people are going to think they're fine. And it doesn't matter what you do, you're not going to make everybody happy, so you might as well just do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Beauty is in the eye of the belt holder.
Ah.
God, I learned even when I'm not fucking trying, I just end up in a pit of wrestlers at a wrestling show. Everybody I wanted to see, everybody I didn't want to see in Pittsburgh wrestling are all in the same section. It was really
Sorg,
interesting.
You walk for miles inside this pit of wrestlers.
I go to wrestling shows to relax, not care about anything else, and enjoy wrestling. And I mean, it was fun. I got to see, like, you guys have to be like 2 rows in front of me. BC Steel was like 2 rows in front of me. Facade was just everywhere.
BC Steel was at the other end of our row.
Yeah, they were. Like fucking, who the fuck else was it? Like, fucking Megan from Rise and Julie were there.
I saw a cowpoke.
Oh, the entire T2T class was there. They just kept going up. I'm like, I didn't even see where the fuck they're sitting, you know. But that entire crew we see on Thursday nights was there. Like, it was fucking crazy. The girls ended up on TV, of course. It was wild. It was fun though. It was fun to go in AEW, especially coming off of the insanity that was the couple weeks before. That was kind of listen, remember I was talking about Little Mania and how that's going to be like the celebration point after like a really, really insane June for me for about 3 weeks. Like, that's what AEW was. It was like I had some cool stuff, too much cool shit, some really shitty shit, and then we had AEW and we're just fucking fine. You know, take a gummy and have a good night. So I was having a good time that night. Fucking Vikingo. I'm just so glad Pittsburgh got to see Commander and Vikingo.
There you go.
And
That'll make
Jay
it
White and got to see all the shit that I've been seeing out on the indies. Not Commander. Commander I haven't seen in person before that night.
That dive is pretty in person.
That was pretty. All of it was something, right? I Love Dutters was like, I was actually disappointed in the Vikingo match. I'm like, why? Just like, because you saw crazy shit in South Bend in a 3-way? I was like, yeah, kind of. I was like, just to see a TV match was just like, I was like, yeah, but still, it's impressive. From the chat, Tina says, what I've learned, I need to pony up some more cash to Patreon so the Sorgatron Media camera crew can get hazard pay and Mercedes and Mayu's and Gila and Tam's matches over the weekend. Chef's kiss. Side note, also, any interaction that Max the Impaler has been having in Japan is just wonderful on Twitter right now. And even though she's eating like ice cream or something, just sitting on the apron, and I'm just like, this is fucking content right here. And then on the other note, fuck Johnny Patch, by the way.
Yeah.
Fucking pulled my camera person, fucking Emily, who's fucking amazing. She's a fucking trooper. She fucking had the fucking weekend of a crazy fucking weekend that weekend, covering RWA and then going all the way down to West Virginia. And she lives fucking in Altoona or something. And to have like a wrestler like pull her in the way of a dive is fucking bullshit. And I'm going to be talking to RWA about that. So, yeah. So, just like fuck Top Dollar on the Mayhem Show, it's fuck Johnny Patch. On a positive note.
I hope Johnny gets patched out. That's what I'm saying. I have no idea.
He's been on the show ages ago, so, but when he first started, probably. But Eamon, Merlin,
Sorg,
what the fuck do you do Thursday nights?
Thursday nights. Well, Thursday nights.
That's a recording, but yeah, nobody fucking knows about that.
Thursday nights, you have nothing to worry about. Thursday nights we fill your
carry on. Watch Ring of Honor.
As you were known, Thursday nights we fill your studio with Slice on Broadway.
Thursday night I get a notification. I'm like, who the fuck is in my studio? Oh, it's Thursday.
Yes.
It's just me creepily staring at the security camera, waving.
Yeah, you love that.
I forget. I'm building another show, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I forget every fucking week.
But yeah, no, that is when we record our podcast again. Is Enby, proud podcast of the Sorgatron Media Network. We are up to episode, I think, 23.
Yep, 23
nice.
film recording this week.
Yeah, and so we, like you said, we record that every Thursday. If you are a fan of particularly reality television, but anything reality television that is gay or NB related. We just finished the recent season of Drag Race. You can watch back all of our thoughts across all those episodes,
including the Toot and Boot videos that we put on our social media at Again is MB on all the platforms.
We've been doing that. And then we also, we talked a little bit, we talk Real Housewives a lot of the time and anything going on in Bravo. If you've wondered what the hell a Scandival is, if you've seen that on like CNN and like all those things, we explain it to you. Yes, Scandival.
Scandival. It's a scandal involving an asshole named Sandoval. Scandal.
If you want to find out more, listen to A Gay in His Enby as we talk about it every week.
That's a fucking tease.
Yeah. Just anything that we really enjoy watching, we tend to talk about. And
Survivor for our more straight, aligned people. Like
You're covering the spectrum.
We cover the spectrum of reality
included.
television.
Everybody's
I love
accepted.
Survivor.
Yeah, we cover Survivor every week. We've got some amazing takes, and most of it is thirsting after the men.
Yeah.
So it's still gay. Very, very gay.
Bringing it back around.
Real quick, who's your guys' picks for Survivor?
Oh, if Carolyn doesn't win, we're going to kind of riot, I feel.
Yeah, Carolyn. I mean, as new transplant. Well, I will be blocking you on social media.
No. I've worked with a Carolyn.
Oh, well, that's
it's a bit of a PTSD thing for me.
Yeah, that's fair. She's a lot. But what was I going to talk about? I have no clue.
Sorry,
thanks, Mike.
Yeah, Carolyn, I would say, who would be our second?
No, I mean, as recent transplants to Pittsburgh, we have to like Heidi, but she hasn't been getting a lot of screen time, so we don't feel like she's long for the Survivor world.
No, but yeah, so we talk a little bit of everything, and we have fun doing it. So we hope you have fun listening.
There you go.
And yeah, it's a fun time.
And even dip in, like I said, they're on the social medias, they're on the TikTok, they're on a lot of reels and clips and things. So if you want to just kind of dive in a little bit and experiment with the game is Enby, that's the wrong phrase.
No, that's perfect.
That's
No,
okay,
that's
okay,
perfect.
sure, okay. And hey,
You've seen our episode titles.
I have seen your episode titles. But real quick, Wheels says he learned that My Rise is a blast. We were talking a little about that earlier and how weird it's been getting. But
That goat head, man.
My Rise is fucking weird. The male version of My Rise is ready to rumble.
Mm-hmm. Were we doing that off air or something? I can't remember.
I think we were doing that.
Okay.
Off air, but yeah.
Yeah, real weird, and the goat head Becky Lynch thing, I guess. I need to catch up with that. Fuck, I don't remember. Oh, early, I kind of sat on in here early in the show when you guys are getting started, and I'm always amazed at how much talking reality TV is very, very similar to talking about pro wrestling on a podcast.
It's so similar.
Yeah.
It's the same shit, except in wrestling they hit each other more often. More often. Not exclusively in wrestling, because it happens in reality television more often than you would think.
Absolutely. Mad Mike 4883, he has opinions.
Oh, I sure do. I talk about things. Usually at least once a week, I'll tell Tony Khan to book a second women's match.
Yeah, he does.
I had someone telling me that they contractually can't.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, they did it once.
I'd love to.
They just never did it again.
Maybe that's the contract.
I know. I guarantee that.
They technically kind of had 2 segments last week, so
I'm not saying segments. I'm saying matches.
No, okay. I'm at Sorgatron on everything. You can see such hot content as taking Dutters to Buc-ee's for the first time.
It's an experience, man.
Just watching her in the experience is an experience. What's really interesting, and somebody pointed out to me, is when she's doing this, she's doing this like I am overwhelmed thing with her hands, like closer to her face. I was like, okay. So that was fun. We went to the one there north of Fort Worth. It was fun. Went to the bathrooms this time. I didn't know that was a thing last time. I was overwhelmed the first time I went.
The bathrooms are overwhelming in and of themselves. They're crazy. There's like 80 stalls in there.
Yeah, you're just like, do they ever fill this? You know, like it seems impossible, right? But I guess if enough buses come in there.
I have stood in a line for 20 minutes for the bathroom at Buc-ee's before because it's that busy.
Impossible. There's like 100 toilets.
You know how crowded it can get in the concourse at a WWE event?
Mm-hmm.
It can get like that in Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's just like WrestleMania.
Just, yeah. But better food.
Buc-ee's that food fucking sucked this year. But man, Jerryland had some good fucking food. That was the best fucking part of going to Mania in Dallas, was like the food was fucking
the food
amazing.
was great at that Mania. I'm getting
hungry.
I still want to go there for a Cowboys.
Yeah, you should.
No,
that's a bucket list.
You should
buy the ticket, go in and get food, and then leave. The game's not worth it.
My friend, Psychotic, old friend of mine from high school, he goes to high school games all over the place. He's gone to high school championships in that stadium, so I'm sure it's a lot cheaper for one. And I'm sure they're running all this stuff.
I was at the very first event in that stadium.
Right,
I auditioned for American Idol in that arena before it was even open. Wasn't technically finished.
Awesome. Guys, thank you so much. This has been a blast. You guys are going to join us next week for Awesome Cast.
Yes,
right?
indeed.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to be talking tech and AI and who knows what. Check out. We talked about exploding rockets today, so I just it got interesting. We again check out our friends T2T Pittsburgh 808 Wrestling. Thursday night will be free on all the indie wrestling, and if you're in New Kent, it's a free show. I don't think that's the case for Friday's show, but there's some stuff happening there with Enby, Young, Cowboy Paul. Going to be a lot of fun there in New Kent, and of course our friends at Prospect Pro Wrestling with Spring Beatings. It's going to be a fantastic show. Take your pick. Go fucking watch wrestling this weekend, guys. And if you're not around here, go find some wrestling. Stream the wrestling that we're putting out. Whatever you want to do. As always, watch more wrestling. Guys, thank you for joining us. Until next time, Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at Sorgatron Media.